There are moments in the history of cinema and global culture when a single human voice carries so much warmth, kinetic energy, and boundless imagination that it permanently alters the way we experience laughter, grief, and wonder. For decades, audiences across continents felt an intimate, almost familial connection to an artist whose creative spirit seemed utterly limitless, moving effortlessly from frenetic stand-up improvisations to deeply poignant dramatic performances that defined generations. When an icon of such colossal stature departs this world, the void left behind does not simply fade with the passage of time. Rather, it transforms into an enduring collective memory that echoes through cinema archives, television reruns, and the private reminiscences of millions of admirers. Yet, as the digital landscape evolves at a breakneck pace and modern communication networks reshape how human history is remembered, preserved, and disseminated, a profound and complex challenge emerges for those left behind. The memory of beloved cultural figures is no longer merely archived on physical film reels or quiet museum shelves. It is continuously processed, shared, and reinterpreted across vast digital networks where authenticity and artifice frequently collide in unexpected ways. To understand the emotional depth of what is unfolding today, one must first revisit the profound cultural imprint left behind by a career that spanned nearly 4 decades of groundbreaking entertainment. From his electrifying early breakthrough on television screens as an eccentric extraterrestrial visitor to his unforgettable Oscar-winning portrayal of an empathetic therapist guiding a troubled young genius, this extraordinary performer possessed an uncanny ability to touch the most fragile corners of the human heart. His presence was a whirlwind of vitality, characterized by lightning-fast wit, rapid-fire character switches, and an underlying tenderness that reminded audiences everywhere of their shared humanity. Whether lending his vocal genius to an irrepressible animated genie that revolutionized modern animation, or portraying an unconventional schoolteacher who inspired his students to seize the day and look at life from entirely new perspectives, he represented a rare blend of explosive comedic brilliance and profound dramatic vulnerability. Generations of viewers grew up listening to that unmistakable voice, finding solace in his humor during difficult moments, and drawing inspiration from his compassionate performances. When tragic news shook the entertainment world in the late summer of 2014, revealing the heartbreaking loss of this legendary figure at the age of 63, an overwhelming wave of international grief followed. Tributes poured in from world leaders, fellow artists, and everyday citizens who felt as though they had lost a dear personal friend. Subsequent revelations regarding his quiet, courageous struggle against severe neurodegenerative conditions, including Lewy body disease and debilitating health challenges, only deepened the global public's profound empathy and enduring respect for his artistic dedication. His family faced the unimaginable task of navigating intense personal heartbreak under the relentless spotlight of worldwide attention, balancing their private mourning with the overwhelming collective grief of millions who refused to let his memory dim. As the years advanced and milestone anniversaries arrived, that enduring public affection showed no signs of diminishing. Longtime fans who experienced his films in packed movie theaters during the 80s and 90s continued to celebrate the immense joy he had introduced into their lives, while entirely new generations, raised in an era of ubiquitous streaming and viral short-form media, began discovering his vast body of work for the very first time. Young audiences across the globe found themselves captivated by his timeless sketches, his profound interviews, and his unmatched improvisational genius, proving that authentic artistic brilliance transcends chronological boundaries and technological shifts. However, this cross-generational resurgence coincided with a rapid, unprecedented transformation in digital media creation tools, sparking urgent questions about legacy, digital integrity, and the delicate line between genuine commemoration and unauthorized replication. Navigating the delicate boundary between celebrating a legendary figure and safeguarding their genuine historical record has become one of the most vital conversations in contemporary society. If you appreciate in-depth stories that explore the delicate intersection of iconic artistic legacies, modern digital culture, and the personal journeys of those who protect them, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications so you never miss our detailed investigative reports. Today, the late comedian's 3 adult children find themselves standing at a historic and deeply personal crossroads, confronting an evolving digital world that their father could scarcely have imagined during his lifetime. Their shared mission is not simply about reminiscing on milestone anniversaries, but actively taking a united stand to ensure that the voice, face, and creative essence of their beloved patriarch remain anchored in truth, warmth, and dignity. This emerging initiative is a carefully considered response to a growing modern dilemma that affects artists, estates, and families worldwide. In a cultural environment increasingly saturated with synthetic media, manipulated archives, and algorithmically driven content, the guardians of historic legacies face unprecedented responsibilities. The three siblings, each carrying forward distinct memories of a childhood surrounded by extraordinary humor, creative generosity, and quiet fatherly affection, have stepped forward into the public sphere with a clear and definitive purpose. They are confronting the modern challenges of synthetic media proliferation head-on, seeking to establish a definitive sanctuary where genuine historical artifacts, rare family memories, and unvarnished recordings can be experienced without the distortion of modern artificial manipulation. As their collective endeavor begins to unfold, it sets the stage for an extraordinary exploration into how love, memory, and technological ethics converge to protect an irreplaceable artistic soul. The delicate balance between public remembrance and personal grief reached a decisive turning point as the late comedian's three adult children, Zach, Zelda, and Cody Williams, took a coordinated step into the modern digital arena to reclaim and actively curate their father's official online presence. Standing together as the direct heirs to one of the most celebrated creative legacies in global entertainment history, the siblings formally announced their shared initiative to revitalize and manage their father's verified Instagram platform. In a unified statement marking what would have been their father's milestone 75th year, they acknowledged the profound gratitude they feel seeing longtime admirers celebrate his body of work alongside younger audiences who are only just discovering his timeless films, stand-up specials, and television appearances. Their primary objective, however, extends far beyond routine archival nostalgia. They are determined to establish a verified, secure, and authentic digital sanctuary where archival photographs, genuine video clips, personal reflections, and historic moments are curated with dignity, truth, and profound familial care. This public intervention emerged against the backdrop of an increasingly aggressive and chaotic wave of artificial intelligence abuse that has swept across social media networks in recent years. With the widespread democratization of advanced generative algorithms, voice synthesis engines, and realistic facial reconstruction software, iconic historical figures have increasingly become raw fodder for unauthorized digital mimicry. For the family of an artist renowned specifically for the unscripted spontaneity, vocal nuance, and deeply human eccentricity of his delivery, watching synthetic replicas flood short-form video platforms became an acutely painful ordeal. Countless automated channels and online content creators began churning out synthetic voiceovers, animated deepfakes, and artificial sketches that crudely mimicked his physical demeanor and vocal cadences, circulating them across platforms like TikTok and Instagram under the guise of tribute content, but often designed primarily to capture algorithm-driven engagement and rapid clicks. The tension surrounding this unregulated technological encroachment reached a boiling point when Zelda Williams, an accomplished filmmaker and writer who has frequently utilized her public platform to address digital ethics and artistic rights, issued a series of searing public statements. Expressing deep frustration and emotional exhaustion over the relentless stream of synthetic clips delivered directly to her private messages and public feeds, she directly implored the online community to cease creating and sharing artificial versions of her father. She candidly remarked on the absurdity and profound disrespect of reducing a multifaceted human life, built over decades of genuine craftsmanship and emotional dedication, into superficial synthetic impressions churned out for fleeting validation. To watch an irreplaceable legacy condensed into algorithm-friendly novelty content, where a vague approximation of someone's appearance and voice is treated as an acceptable substitute for real human expression, struck a deeply discordant note with those who knew the man behind the legendary public persona. Zelda went even further in dissecting the broader cultural implications of this phenomenon, describing the mass production of synthetic celebrity media as a distressing commodification of human history, art, and memory. She characterized these automated imitations not as genuine tributes or innovative artistic expressions, but as hollow, over-processed caricatures manufactured solely to solicit superficial social media approval. For the family, the issue is not merely aesthetic or technical, it is fundamentally ethical. A performer whose entire life's work celebrated genuine emotional connection, uninhibited improvisation, and the raw vulnerability of human interaction, was being turned into a digital puppet by systems incapable of understanding empathy, timing, or authentic sorrow. The decision to reactivate and oversee the official Instagram account was therefore formulated as a direct, proactive countermeasure, a fortress of authenticity designed to give fans a verified benchmark of true archival material while actively fighting back against the pervasive spread of fabricated content. Acknowledging that the sudden reappearance of an account belonging to a deceased icon can be jarring and emotionally complicated for followers, Zelda openly addressed the online community, explaining the strategic and protective motivation behind their decision. She recognized that seeing a departed artist's profile suddenly light up in user feeds can evoke unexpected sorrow or confusion, yet emphasized that establishing an authorized home for authentic materials is the most potent and direct method available to render synthetic knockoffs obsolete. By providing fans with pristine, authentic recordings, unreleased behind-the-scenes glimpses, and verified personal memories, the family seeks to ensure that when anyone searches for the beloved star in the digital realm, they are met with the genuine artist himself, rather than a distorted, machine-generated algorithm. The unity displayed by Zach, Zelda, and Cody highlights a strong familial resolve that spans across 2 marriages and decades of unique individual life journeys. Zach, the eldest son at 43 from his father's first marriage, alongside 37-year-old Zelda and 34-year-old Cody from his second marriage, represent a harmonious collective stewardship. Together with their wider family circle, they have chosen to channel their enduring grief into constructive action, refusing to remain passive observers while unregulated technological trends reshape their family's historic narrative. Their joint effort illustrates the complex, high-stakes battle that many families of prominent cultural figures now face in the 21st century. Balancing the global public's natural desire to continuously celebrate a departed hero with the vital necessity of defending that hero's authentic voice, genuine artistic integrity, and undeniable human legacy from synthetic exploitation and digital erasure. As this protective effort takes root across social channels, it brings into sharp focus the escalating tension between rapid technological innovation and the preservation of human heritage. The digital age has introduced extraordinary creative possibilities, but it has also created an environment where the boundaries of consent, personal identity, and creative ownership are tested daily. In taking control of the digital narrative, the 3 siblings are not simply guarding family archives, they are actively resisting the trivialization of an extraordinary creative life. The stage is now fully set to examine how this dedicated initiative reflects a broader cultural reckoning, why safeguarding authentic artistic truth matters so deeply for future generations, and how the enduring values of compassion, kindness, and boundless human warmth that defined this legendary artist continue to guide his children's historic crusade. The profound initiative undertaken by Zach, Zelda, and Cody Williams represents far more than a routine management of social media archives. It marks a defining moment in how society navigates the delicate intersection of historical memory, creative ownership, and the sanctity of human identity. When Robin Williams tragically passed away in August of 2014 at the age of 63, the global community mourned the loss of a peerless comedic genius whose unscripted brilliance had lit up stages and screens for nearly 4 decades. Yet, in the years that followed, the revelation of his quiet, courageous struggle against Lewy body dementia, severe anxiety, and Parkinson's disease transformed public grief into a deeper, lasting reverence for his immense personal fortitude. He was not merely an entertainer who brought laughter to hundreds of millions. He was a deeply empathetic soul who carried an unyielding commitment to alleviating human and animal suffering wherever he traveled. For his children, preserving that genuine spirit requires active vigilance in an age where emerging technologies can easily distort, hollow out, and cheapen the profound reality of a lived human life. Each of the 3 siblings brings a unique perspective and deeply personal dedication to this lifelong mission of remembrance. Zach Williams, who has become an outspoken advocate for mental health and emotional well-being following his father's passing, consistently channels his personal journey of healing into helping others navigate their darkest moments. In his heartfelt reflections on what would have been his father's 75th birthday, Zach captured the true essence of his father's enduring charm, reminiscing about the unmistakable smile lines earned from a lifetime of bringing joy to others, alongside his father's extraordinary capacity for boundless empathy. Rather than asking the public for grand gestures, Zach urged fans to honor the milestone anniversary by performing simple, tangible acts of everyday kindness, bringing laughter into someone else's life, and putting genuine good into the world. This approach perfectly embodies the values that Robin Williams championed throughout his life, emphasizing that the most authentic tribute to a compassionate artist is not found in superficial digital fanfare, but in active, heartfelt service to our fellow human beings. Zelda Williams, who has forged her own respected creative path as a director and storyteller in Hollywood, offers a sharp, uncompromising perspective on the artistic and ethical consequences of unauthorized digital mimicry. Having grown up in the vibrant, unconventional orbit of her father's dynamic personality, she remembers him not as a hollow cultural product to be endlessly mined for viral engagement, but as an eccentric, loving father who filled their home with eccentric humor, vibrant clothing choices, loud socks, and uproarious laughter. In her poignant birthday tribute, she affectionately celebrated his quirky individuality and shared her longing for the everyday conversations, family jokes, and spontaneous laughter that technology can never truly replicate. Her outspoken resistance against the rising tide of artificial intelligence abuse highlights an essential moral truth. The true value of art lies in the vulnerable, imperfect, and magnificent spark of the human spirit. An algorithm can analyze cadence, match waveforms, and reassemble pixels, but it can never replicate the lived experience, the profound suffering, the genuine empathy, and the lightning-fast emotional intuition that made Robin Williams a once-in-a-century treasure. Cody Williams, who has largely pursued his passions behind the scenes and maintained a private life with his loved ones, stands firmly united with his siblings in this critical protective effort. Together with their wider circle of family and longtime colleagues, they demonstrate that honoring a departed loved one requires setting firm boundaries around how that person's likeness and memory are treated by the wider world. Their collective decision to curate their father's official Instagram page establishes a vital digital sanctuary where genuine historical footage, rare photographic archives, and authentic family recollections can be accessed in their uncorrupted form. By transforming this platform into a verified home for authentic materials, the siblings offer fans around the globe an honest window into their father's true genius, while ensuring that future generations discover him through the genuine, unvarnished artifacts of his extraordinary career, rather than through manipulated, synthetic caricatures. The wider cultural conversation sparked by the Williams family resonates far beyond the borders of Hollywood. As modern societies wrestle with the ethical implications of synthetic voice cloning, automated digital deepfakes, and post-mortem digital rights, the stand taken by Zach, Zelda, and Cody establishes a crucial standard for artist estates, families, and creative communities worldwide. It forces audiences and digital platforms alike to confront difficult questions regarding identity, legacy, and digital consent. Should an artist's likeness become open-source material the moment they pass? Or does the family retain the sacred right to protect their loved one's authentic voice from commercial and algorithmic exploitation? The resounding answer provided by the Williams siblings is that human dignity must always take precedence over convenience, entertainment novelty, and automated engagement metrics. Ultimately, the enduring legacy of Robin Williams will never be captured or contained by algorithms or automated mimicry. His immortality lives on through the millions of lives he brightened through his timeless cinematic masterpieces, his electrifying comedic tours, his quiet philanthropic visits to hospitals and communities in need, and the indelible imprint he left on the hearts of his children. By standing united to defend his authentic voice, Zach, Zelda, and Cody ensure that their father is remembered precisely as he lived, as a singularly brilliant, profoundly compassionate, and delightfully eccentric human being whose remarkable spirit continues to inspire warmth, laughter, and authentic human connection across every generation.